lots of students, they come to my office, talk to me and showing their interest in Asian art and also in Chinese art. So that's really make me very happy because my job here, I think, is really to attract students, interest, to build up their interest. I think the reason I am interested in archaeology is that I was very interested in history when I was in high school. So at the beginning, I really wanted to go to the history department at Peking University. Peking University really is one of the most, I think, prestigious universities in China and also in Asia. So I really wanted to go to the history department. But that year, 1989, the history department, they didn't have any new students. They didn't, have a freshman that year, because of, the Tiananmen, the political problem. So the Beijing University, not just the history department, but also other departments, they really cut, the incoming new students. So, and then I saw archaeology department. I thought, okay, archaeology is about past as well. so I went to archaeology department instead of the history. And then after all these years, I thought it's probably a better choice than history, because I really want to, I really want to study the material culture, not just, the historical texts. I think the material culture is more interesting to me. I think 95, I came here for graduate school. I studied with two teachers. I thought they are really very well-established scholars in the field, Professor Catherine Lindolf and Professor Xu Zhuoyun. My main mentor is Professor Catherine Lindolf. She, I think, really focused on the interdisciplinary study between art and archaeology. So she is not just interested in the work itself, but also I think she is interested in the culture, the context where those works come from. So I think I really benefit from her scholarship. That's also my methodology to do research as well. So I think I'm really interested in finding the culture, looking the culture really behind the work, or looking on the artist really behind the work, not just the work itself. I'm very proud to see this is actually the first book in the field of Chinese archaeology that devoted to the study of gender issues. The Chinese version of this book will come out probably by the end of the year. So I think both of us, we thought this is really the topic that haven't been discussed so far. So, and we know the material, I think, very well. It's just we haven't looked at the material from the gender perspective. So we thought we really want to do it, together. The book really, I think, started in a panel I organized probably in spring 2002 in Washington, D.C. We had a panel at the annual meeting of the Association of Asian Studies. So this is really the meeting that all scholars focused on Asian get together to, exchange their scholarship. So we had a panel first. So we had, I think, 4 scholars present at the panel. And the reaction, I think, it was very good. Afterwards, I think we were invited by the series editor. She invited us to really, contribute a book on that subject. So both of us, we work on finding the contributing authors. And then it took us, let's say, almost 3 years to have the book finally, get printed. So the Chinese version also, we are very exciting for the coming publication for the Chinese version as well, because we really thought it's important to get our colleagues in China to involved in the discussion as well. I think our goal is to really promote the discussion on the subject. We want the scholars from United States and also China to sort of establish a dialogue, and see how they approach this gender issue. I think sometimes you are really attached to the material you work on. Not just for this subject, I think I work on. For this subject, I think I mainly work on the paintings that appeared on the vessels, the ceramic vessels in the Neolithic period. I think archaeological studies are sort of like detective work. That's really the amazing part. It really, I think, sort of provoke your curiosity. You really want to put all the puzzles together and find out what is really, behind that. I think it's really the curiosity. For example, if there's a question I cannot solve it, I even dream about it. So I think you get so much attached to the material. And also, I think when I got pregnant, I talked to my baby about the material I work on, the bronze culture I work on. So my friends, they really joke about it. They said, when your baby was born, he will immediately know what bronze is, what is a Shang bronze. So I think emotionally you really attached to the material. And I think the curiosity, the drive to find out what is the story behind the material, behind the artwork. It's really the most attractive part for my job, I think. Yeah. I have a student, Kinsey White. She went to China, I think last summer. She stayed there about 8 months. Study language, and also I think she took some culture courses. Now she's working on her senior thesis. The thesis really is about the artist community living in the suburb of Beijing. And I think she really wants to look at their work from the political perspective and also the economic perspective. Because with the growth of the economy in China, this is really is a newly formed group. They live actually in what is called artist village, and they painted in a particular style. So she really wants to find out what is the motivation behind their creation. So she will go back this summer. I'm going to go back very soon to do my research in China as well. So she will be there, I think, collecting materials, interview artists. So I'm very happy to sort of work with her on this project. My next work is I really want to focus on, I think, the interaction between the culture from the center of China and the culture in the periphery area. That actually is the other subject I have been very interested in. And also my dissertation 6 years ago actually was focused on the subject as well. I work on the bronze culture in the periphery area, around, I think, from 11th century to 10th century BCE in northeastern part of China. So I'm very interested in the interactions of the bronze culture in the periphery area with the bronze culture in what we call the Central Plain, that is the middle reaches of the Yellow River Valley.